Hi, I'm Mick Rawlinson from the Buy-to-Let Mortgage People. In a series of short videos I'd like to give you some invaluable information, tips and tricks to help you build your property portfolio successfully. Buy-to-let is a serious investment and we have to treat it that way. It is, in effect, a business. And with any business, you would probably want to find and recruit some of the best people possible to make that business as successful as possible. Buy-to-let's no different. You need knowledge, you need experience, you need contacts, and you need resources. And the way to get all that, if you don't have it already, is to build a reliable team around you. Now, I'm not talking about building a team that you're going to pay monthly. I'm talking about a team that you will build and you will pay them based on their results. Okay, so let's get on with it. The first person in the team will be your mortgage broker. And effectively, your mortgage broker will become your mentor. Your mortgage broker has a pretty good understanding of buy-to-let in all aspects, and most importantly, he will or she will speak to you and work out what it is you want to achieve. Okay? So they'll take your ideals and your aspirations and they'll look at the finance that's available, the mortgages that are available, and they will tell you if your dreams and aspirations are achievable. Okay, now that's important because there's no point in going off starting your venture if you don't know how much money you have to play with and how much money people will lend you. Okay. Now, the next person I would seriously consider using is a property sourcer. Okay, getting the right property sourcer is extremely important, and it's probably the hardest person to recruit because, like any industry, there are good property sources and not so good property sources. Okay, now there are specialists in various areas, so if you're looking for a residential flat, then there are specialists in that area. If you're looking for second-hand property that perhaps needs a bit of work doing to it, then there are professionals in that particular area also. Quite a complex subject, finding the right property source. I think the most important tip here is just to find someone who has track record, is not excessive in their charging, and has the time and energy for you in what you're trying to achieve, and most importantly that you like them and like working with them and feel you can deal with complaints, etc. Now, the next person in the team is solicitor, perhaps the easiest one to find. Unless you're working with a sourcer who uses a particular solicitor, what I suggest you do is look in your local area, your local town. There's going to be a number of solicitors available there, and find one that has a specialist property department. Okay, so by that I mean there's no point in working with a solicitor who specialises in, say, family law and then does mortgages on the side. What you need is someone with a dedicated solicitor, dedicated property department, normally with 2 or more people in. And the reason for that is if you can't get hold of one person and it's an urgent, then you need to get hold of the other person, so you need to know that they're at the end of the line, or there'll be somebody at the end of the line for you. Solicitors vary enormously in price. What I would suggest you do is take 3 quotes, find the right solicitors, get 3 quotes and take it from there. Next person I would suggest you look at is your snagging agent. Now, this is something that's relatively new. Used to be called snagging agents, they're now called building inspectors. In particular, if you're buying a second-hand property and you know it needs some work doing to it and you don't feel confident in making a list of works that are required yourself, then what I would do is go out and find an agent who will go to the property and make a list of works and cost those works out for you, because that's going to be important information when it comes to validating the investment and seeing if it's worthwhile. Very few of them around, but you could use an RICS valuer or RICS surveyor in your local area. Probably your estate agent will help you find that right person, but equally just give me a call and I can recommend a number of people who I've used in the past with good results. The next one is your tradesman. Now, this is the most difficult area, to find a tradesman that you like. Find a tradesman who is reliable, does what they say on the tin and don't overcharge you for them. Extremely difficult. Only you can do that by doing some real research and some real legwork. And what I would do is, if you're going to get a quote for a job, try and get 3 quotes, identical quotes for the same job. Pick out who's reasonable, speak to the tradesman, test their knowledge, just see if they know what they're talking about. Equally, you can look at various websites now to get some background information on tradesmen. People normally leave recommendations or examples of where the work hasn't quite gone to plan. Recently I've used a website called checkatrade.com. Still growing website, still needs to get a lot more content on there, but it's a starter for 10. Okay. Finally, and perhaps the most important long-term relationship you're going to have is with your property manager. Now, if you intend to buy one property in one area and no more, then I suggest you look at the high street. I can guarantee you there'll be a lot of agents there, property agents. You want to be looking for who has a bit of substance to their business, have been there around for a while, have a number of properties under management, look at very efficient service. I think in this instance you probably can't go wrong with the franchised high street letting agents, of which there are numerous. There's Shurlet, there is Beaver or Belvoir, as it's sometimes pronounced, and Martin and Co. So if it's just the one property, then I suggest you go to just one local agent and interview them and just see if you like working with them. However, if you're going to go on to build a portfolio and you're going to be spreading the risk of that portfolio throughout the country, then you need, really, to save your time and effort, I think it's best to get one property management company looking after your portfolio. Okay, so if you intend to build a portfolio, start the relationship from the beginning with a property manager that covers the whole of the country, of which there are now 2 or 3 specialists in the UK and do the job extremely well. So if you need to know more about that, then I suggest you give me a call and we can talk that one through. So with all these people that are now going to be on your team, you really want to have a chat with them, test their knowledge, look at their experience. If it's appropriate, look at some examples of their work. For example, tradesmen should hopefully be able to give you some examples of their work. And most importantly, check fees. Okay, 3 quotes is not unreasonable to ask for 3 quotes, and look at the fees and just see who looks reasonable. Most importantly, do you like them? Can you work with these people? If something goes wrong, do you think you could work that out with them? If not, move on, find someone who you can. Okay, now, for all things to do with tradespeople, another good place to look is the property forums, of which there are a number, and for me personally I use Property 118. Can't recommend the website, but I've had some good success finding out about tradesmen. I've had some good success finding out about information that I didn't have previously to do with buy-to-let. They're a good start, and there are a number of forums available. And finally, I've got to say this, if you want mortgage advice, then a good starting point is my website, the Buy to Let Mortgage People. That's buytoletmortgagepeople.co.uk. Okay, that's all I have to say for now. I hope you watch some of the other videos. My name is Mick Rawlinson. If you need any help with building your portfolio or finding the right person to look after your portfolio, or sourcing your property, or your mortgage broker, or you just want some tips on solicitors, etc., then please give me a call on 0794 152 6782. I'll put the number on the screen. Thank you very much for listening.